Hey guys, welcome back to Grounded Roots Healing. I'm Jason. I'm an alchemist, a druid, whatever label you want to give me. It doesn't really matter to me. But I thought I'd try to. So, physically, I've been struggling lately. And I thought I have a good understanding of what's happening. And I thought I'd give you guys a good solid analogy, an explanation that there will help you understand what you're going through and make it a little easier on you. You're not crazy. There are definitely physical challenges with this ascension process, without a doubt. Okay, so everything is energy. Start with this again. Your soul, your higher self, your consciousness is composed entirely of energy. And it inhabits this, what I like to call a mind-body complex, the monkey mind and the physical body that we inhabit, as one unit. I.e., it's the primate that evolved on this planet without consciousness, let's say, without your consciousness inhabiting it. And you, the person that's listening to me, is not this body, this avatar, this mind-body complex. You are the puppeteer. Now, the strings of the puppeteer, or the soul, are the chakra system. This is the energetic system that inhabits the body. There are 7 of them at varying levels in your body. And this is what your soul uses to consciously move this body around. Now, we are all asleep to this for the most part, except probably everybody who's watching this video. You have an inkling that you are not the body. You are not the mind. There is a separation here where you can listen to the mind think thoughts. Now, just think about what I said right there. You can listen to the mind think. The you that is doing the listening is the actual you. And the thoughts are what the mind produces along with this body that it inhabits. Okay, so I like to envision this as a vehicle, like a car. Except in this instance, the car comes with a driver. The driver being the mind, the monkey mind. It's probably a derogatory term that I shouldn't use, but I like to use it because it is definitely inferior to the conscious mind, to the conscious being that is inhabiting this body. So, when we're born, we know this. We know we're not the body. We're separate from it. And we have no inhibitions. We have no shame. We have none of this stuff because we know we aren't this. We're just inhabiting it and driving it, and we're having fun doing it as children. At some point, we suffer trauma. Society inflicts shame and guilt on us and fear, and we associate with the bodies, and that's when all the misery starts. Now, for the most part, most people are going around with the monkey in the driver's seat. They're maybe, say, sitting in the passenger seat and wondering why the hell they do what they do. And this monkey mind is not, the ego is not doing anything that it's in over its head, let's put it that way. So it evolved to live in in a natural environment. And now we have it in actual vehicles, driving around, computers, internet, no contact with nature, and none of this stuff. So it becomes completely miserable. Plus it suffers childhood trauma and other things that happen to us in our life. And it's on a state of constant anxiety. It's neurotic. It's using behavioral patterns and programming from society to run itself through this world. And for the most part, the conscious mind is in the passenger seat along for the ride, not making any real changes, just wondering why the hell everything's going so poorly. So like I said, I like to envision the mind-body complex as a vehicle with a monkey driving the car. The monkey being the ego and the non-conscious mind. The mind that evolved Homo sapiens sapiens on this planet. So you got a monkey driving a car and a conscious superhuman being, well, not human, but conscious being sitting in the passenger seat. And the objective of awakening is to take the monkey and put him in the back seat, and then you do the driving, i.e. you do the steering through life. Okay, so we have these physical vessels. Now these physical vessels, they start out pretty good. Let's say you're my version would be a 1976 Toyota Corolla. I don't know if I get in trouble for saying that. Toyota, small compact car. It's pretty sporty when you first get it. It can do some things. And the monkey's actually a very accomplished driver. So you're going through life and it's going pretty good and you're not physically suffering too much and the car can do what you want it to do and everything's fine. But as you get older, you get a lot of dings, the engine gets gummed up, the things start to break, and it starts to slow down. So, we have 2 strands of DNA, and science would have us believe that the rest of our DNA is junk, which couldn't be further from the truth. Now, you have your energetic body, the 7 chakras. I've said this a bunch of times, but they combine the cycles of the chakras combine to the amount of 144,000 hertz. If the body that it is inhabiting can hold that much, if it's not damaged so much, if there's not blockages in your chakra system, you can inhabit that much light. And if you do, you can embody that much light. If you do that, you are essentially in Christ consciousness. Now, this is just with 2 strands of DNA. The physical body can hold this with 2 strands. However, we will have 12 strands of DNA. We will have... These are all there in this junk pile that science thinks is of no value, and they're getting turned on. This is happening through data downloads. Essentially, the planet itself is ascending the frequencies, and you can track this. If anyone follows the Schumann resonance, you will have had a hell of a couple of, since about noon yesterday, things have been kind of crazy. I don't know how many people had bad sleeps last night, weird dreams, physical problems. Because as the planet starts to ascend the frequencies, we are part of the planet. So our physical bodies will start to adjust and ascend the frequencies as well. And then this will appear as improvements in your body. You will start turning strands of DNA on, which will lead to a lot more physical abilities. But it's not going to be without discomfort. This also comes from the sun. Data packets, upgrades come from the sun. They clear out our chakra system. They force our bodies to go up the frequencies with the planet. So the physical bodies are going up as well as the chakras. Okay, so your DNA turns on. We are going to go from carbon-based body-mind complexes to silicon-based body-mind complexes, crystalline, which will be able to hold a lot more of our light, which means things that you can't even fathom you'd be able to do with 2 strands of DNA and a low vibrational frequency on the planet will become easy. Magic. Think magic. Think Superman. Think things like this. So as this happens, it's going to happen slowly. You've gone through your whole life with this piece of junk beater, like in my case. It's got a low tire on one side, maybe a bald tire on one side. Tie rod end is loose. The engine's gummed up. It's full of carbon. It needs a complete overhaul. This modern mind-body complex is getting it. So as a strand of DNA turns on, you can think about it as if you've gotten an upgrade to your vehicle. So maybe they changed the body panel. Maybe they fixed the tie rod end. In fact, you're going to go from that 1976 junker like myself to a brand new electric, top of the line electric supercar. So this is a good way to envision it. It's going to be quieter. It's going to have unbelievable torque. It's going to work. It's going to go from having no navigation to a manual gear shift to the car being able to drive itself. But before this, you can get all of these upgrades. You obviously can't get them all at the same time. So if your physical body is going through some stuff, it's usually happening at night while you sleep. You'll get these upgrades. So you can think about it like you're going putting the car in the garage to get work done on it. And Spirit's doing the work while you sleep. But some of these jobs, like a full engine replacement, they're going to take a while. They're going to need some downtime in the shop. And this can manifest in many ways. In my case, I had spent 2.5 weeks in bed because of a bad back. My back just went out of nowhere and I couldn't get up. Now I'm thinking that was a major upgrade. And if I didn't have the foresight to listen. So it had to force me to listen. It had to force me to let this body rest, get the upgrades it needs, and then it would let me move again. But, it's not over. It's far from over. We're just getting started on this. And you're going to see amazing things happen. Your body's going to be able to regenerate itself. It's not going to be on the same aging profile that it was on before as a 3D carbon-based organism. Your car, your body-mind complex is getting a huge upgrade. You can't imagine it, but like I said, it's not without discomfort. And the more you push against this, the more you don't listen, the worse it's going to be. You can't have a full engine replacement and then go out and work, play around in society. You have to go rest. So, to that point, aging is not a requirement. With the new DNA strands and the high vibrational state of this planet, aging is not a requirement. Death is not a requirement. Vehicles, a brand new vehicle with unlimited replacement parts, can be maintained and kept for as long as you'd like it to. Passing on to the other side is going to become something we choose to do when we want to do it. There will be no more sickness, no more illness, none of this stuff. And to that point, there's a lot of people on this planet with certain ailments and syndromes and different things that they're struggling with. And as their DNA gets turned on, None of this has to stay the way it is. I'll just leave it at that. There's going to be miracles upon miracles upon miracles. Medical miracles, they're just going to happen every day. We're going to get so used to it that we won't even bat an eye anymore. And I know this is coming, and it just gets really difficult because even though I understand how this works, there's days where I get drawn into the body and I forget that I'm the conscious being driving the car, and I let that monkey drive the car again. And until you get to the point where you can put him in the back seat permanently, you're going to do that. You're going to lose sight of what is really happening here and what we're really going through. And what incredible things we're going to have to look forward to in the future. So I think I'll leave it there. I hope that's clear. You are a vehicle and you're getting some major, major upgrades. So give yourself some grace. Rest when you need to. Drink water, ground yourself, get in nature, play with your pets and your family, and try to just relax and let this happen, because the more comfortable, it'll be more comfortable if you just relax, sit back, and let spirit do what it has to do. Let those, spiritual mechanics get in there and do what they got to do. And the suffering will be less. I promise you. It's not going to be none, but it'll be less. So I'll leave it there. Like I always say, I hope this video finds you well. I love you all. I really do. And we'll see you soon.